Hey, what's going on, man? Hola amigo, ¿cómo estás? Guten Tag, wie geht's dir? In this video, I want to show you how to play the T1 Cunningham, a Tier 1 American tank, and I'm going to teach you how to play that as it's a stock tank. So this is going to be a video for people who have never played the tank before, or who are basically new to the game. The T1 Cunningham is a Tier 1 tank, and you can see here we're playing on Himmelsdorf, the map is called. And because you're playing this as a Tier 1 tank, you have to realize a few things here. The first is your crew, or the people who are inside the tank, driving the tank and whatnot, your crew are garbage. They're going to be at 50% unless you have a little bit more experience to the game, or you buy a crew or whatever. But your crew is at basically half skill level, okay? So what that means is things like your aiming time, your reload rate, and your view distance, a whole bunch of different things. Your crew, because they're at 50%, aren't going to be as good as the other tanks on the field. For example, say that this NC31 here, this guy who's driving this tank in front of me over here, let's pretend that he's been playing for a long time, he's been using that tank a lot. Now, because he's been playing for a long time, his crew's going to have a better skill level, maybe 60%, 70%, maybe even 100%. That means that crew is going to be shooting that gun better, it's going to be driving better, is going to see farther, all those kinds of things. Now, because again, you're just playing, you're at 50%, you basically are at half ability. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is, as far as the tank itself goes, you're going to have a weak gun with this thing. It's not going to do a lot of damage. You have a long aim time. And an aim time meaning after you shoot or after you stop, what's called the bloom of the gun goes out really far, and then it has to come back in, to a tight circle. That's your aim time. It's going to be pretty long, pretty inaccurate. Also, the gun the tank that you have is going to be slow. It can go in a straight line pretty fast, but from side to side it's not very fast, turning. And the other thing, the final thing I want to mention is it's a rear turreted tank. See this NC31 here, the tank, or the turret's on the front of the tank, that's a front turreted tank. The T1, it's on the rear of it. That means when you're trying to peek around the corner, you're going to be exposing half of your tank before you can even try to shoot somebody. So let's start the gameplay so we can see how this works. And as the game is going on, I'm going to explain to you the things that you need to do to try to mitigate the problems that come with a lower crew skill level, lower tank components, like a bad gun and everything like that. So here you can see exactly everything that I see and how I'm driving the tank. Now, the first thing you want to do with this thing is you need to get for a long distance. This road that I'm on right here, you can see a nice long distance down the road. You don't have to worry about trying to peek around corners and everything, and that's important to try to set yourself up into these long alleyways like this, because it takes such a long time for your gun to aim. You want to basically be sitting still. Every time you're moving, see how the reticle, this is the reticle right here. See how this green circle is really wide? That means your shot's going to go anywhere within that circle. So you really want to stop and let your gun aim. So now it's aiming. There, now it's fully aimed. See how I'm not moving now? The next thing is you want to do what's called side scraping. What that means is you expose only part of your tank rather than the full brunt of your tank. I'm trying to get my right side of my tank inside. Let's see if I can explain it better. See how I'm on an angle towards this wall? That means that when someone's down here like this medium one, when he shoots at me, he can only see the side of my tank. He can't see the whole thing. That increased angle, it increases the angle, so it's going to be more likely for his shot to bounce or ricochet off my tank. The other good thing about that is, pretend that my tank was this way, like my front of the tank was right here, and my back of my tank right here, and the turret's back here. If I pull all the way up to try to shoot that medium one, I'm exposing my entire side of my tank. Side of these tanks are very weak, especially tier 1. I don't need to even try to bother to explain to you how weak the armor is on here. This is kind of common sense. So you need to side scrape. You need to sit in position for a long time. You can see what I'm doing here is I'm letting my aim come all the way in before I shoot.
Enemy armor is damaged.
See, I'm waiting. This gun reloads really quickly. See how I waited right there? Waiting for that shot to come in before I shoot. Or waiting for my aim to come in before I shoot. Right there again. This thing reloads. Let's see if it has approximate reload counter on it.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
Doesn't look like it.
Let's roll.
For some reason, let me check my settings here real quick. I don't know why it doesn't show that, but sometimes what it'll do is it'll show on the screen for you how long it takes for you to reload. I think this takes approximately 2 to 3 seconds. No, but because you can reload in 2 to 3 seconds does not mean you need to shoot within 2 to 3 seconds. You gotta let that aim time come in, or your reticle come in. And that's just an accident by that guy. Let that reticle come in to try to be able to shoot accurate shots. So far we've covered, you want to side scrape, you want to, even though you can shoot really quickly, you want to wait for your reticle to come in, for your gun to be on target and accurate. And third, that you want to try to set yourself up long distances, which will allow your gun to be able to aim as well. The other thing is, while this tank is decently fast stock, you can get up to 34, you see 35, maybe even get up to 40 miles or 40 kilometers per hour on a straight stretch, it turns really slowly. So you don't want to try to do too much turning with it. Too much turning with it meaning while you're going after an enemy or trying to shoot or trying to get out of if you're trying to get out of an area really quickly, don't try to turn if you can. Or try to turn as minimally as possible because it's going to take off your speed. See, even though I can shoot, I'm waiting for that to come in, then I shoot. Once that reticle comes in, then I shoot. You got to offset that bad skill, or bad cruise skill level. And that time I just shot early, hoping to get the kill because I did not want to have my kill stolen. And you can see that I was also side scraping. Try to get around that corner. And that's essentially it. That's essentially it for this. Now the T1 Cunningham, because it is a tier 1 tank, you're going to be able to upgrade this thing pretty quickly and move on to the next tier. But this is just try to help you get away from some of the frustrations, especially for you new players that have never played the game before. I'm trying to really take my time to explain to you all the different things. You'll get the hang of it. Don't worry. Just do what I told you to do here. You know, side scrape like I showed you. Let the gun aim itself before you shoot. And try to set long distances so you can use that to your advantage. Do that. In no time you'll be past this tank, be moving on to the next tier, and it won't be so bad. Okay? Well, with that, that's pretty much the end of this one. I don't think we get this last guy. We basically do a cap here. This NC31 goes blue. What that blue means is that he's shot so many teammates that it's okay for you to shoot him. So that's what I do there. I don't get any points taken off for doing that. So with that, please like, comment, favorite, subscribe. You know, I really appreciate it if you would like, and if you're a new fan or new viewer, if you do subscribe, I would appreciate that, because it helps other people see that this is good stuff. It's helpful, and for new players especially, you know, they don't really know what's going on. So I would appreciate it to help bump these things up and you know, help other people out in the community, not only for yourself too. Everybody that watches these videos or any other videos and they get better, it's great because it makes the game more fun and more challenging. So with that, I hope to see you again. Take care. Bye.